Hi Ninja, welcome to the first episode of this month's 7-minute Tidbit Wednesday, wherein I talk for 7 minutes or less. So today we are going to talk about the first of the tricky and challenging interview questions that I will put out for this month. If you haven't watched why I'm doing this Tidbit Wednesday thing, then please watch my previous video, or I'll put the card up there. So without further ado, because I'm just going to speak for 7 minutes, today's challenging or tricky interview question is, why should we not hire you? Or in other words, convince me to not hire you. So for this challenging call center interview question, this is actually like, it's like another way of saying or asking, what are your weaknesses? So your strategy should be that you have to be able to highlight your strength, even though you have that weakness, but not to the point that you are going to be overly negative. So you can say something like this. You can highlight your personality trait and how you're able to overcome it. One of the things that you can mention is that if you are looking for someone who is an introvert or who doesn't really want to talk a lot, then I might not be the best fit for this position because I am an extrovert type of person. I thrive in lively and energetic environments, and I'd always want to work with a team to discuss and to share my opinions, to share my thoughts. So I think that it would be best if I am in an organization or a company wherein I am able to speak up and contribute my knowledge and my skills as an individual. So that is one way for you to express it or to say it. I was asked this question not when I applied as an agent, but when I applied as a trainer. And what I heard from the interviewer was, why should we hire you? So I answered immediately, not thinking that the question was actually, why should we not hire you? And then I had to repeat my answer. So my answer went like this. I'm always having a hard time saying no because I am a yes person. Like whatever you tell me to do, I would always do it. And I would always want to make sure that I impress the people who are expecting so much from me in terms of my job or my role as a customer service representative or as a subject matter expert. Now, in answering this question, here are the things that you should not be doing. Number one, do not be overly negative. So you can suggest or you can mention a weakness, but not to the point that you are being so negative or that you are mentioning a weakness that will make you not be suited for that position, such as I always go to work late, or I'm always absent during events, or if there are holidays, or if there are holidays and other gatherings. So obviously that will just make you ill-suited for the position. And then number two, do not skip answering this question. Sometimes people just skip answering this question because they don't have anything to say. But that's a no-no because that will imply that you are not good in thinking on your feet or when you're presented in a situation where you really have to answer right away. So think of something simple. It doesn't have to be grand. You can say something like, it's really hard for me to be active early in the morning, but I always try to overcome it by drinking coffee or by having proper mindset, something like that. So for every weakness, always highlight your strength, and you will have the ability to shine during your interview. And number 3, do not say something like, there is no reason you should not hire me, because that will just imply that you are too arrogant or you're too full of yourself. Imagine that you and everybody is just a human being. So everybody should have a weakness, and it doesn't have to be something grand, as I mentioned earlier. Just mention a simple weakness that you are trying to overcome in your life or in terms of your work-life balance. So again, answering something like that might not be effective at all. And lastly, do not be surprised with follow-up questions. Of course, you mentioned your weakness and you mentioned the reason why your employer or your interviewer should not hire you. Then you have to be prepared for follow-up questions. They might have additional questions about the weakness that you mentioned and how you're planning to overcome it, or how you are overcoming it currently. So make sure that you're ready for that, and you should be good. And that's about it for today's 7-Minute Tidbit Wednesday. I hope that you are able to get an idea on how to answer that question. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. See you on my next Tidbit Wednesday, and also this Friday for my regular video. Bye-bye!